Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Bull City Hangout 821. I'm Pat Murray. I publish the Durham Skywriter, that's Durham's online community paper. And just check it out at durhamskywriter.com. And with Bull City Hangout, I tell you what's happening today in Durham, and then invite you to click on that link on the Facebook site and join me on camera. I forgot to turn off the TV, so let me grab my remote and do so. There you go. So let's get started with the word page. That is the government and nonprofit information page. I'm just going to mention real quick that there are some city and county programs that you might want to check out. It's the weekend. I know you don't want to be bothered right now. And, so just go ahead, check out the rental assistance program and the programs for helping to pay your water bill, etc. No pressure. Okay. I also want to mention that the Durham County libraries are all open except for Bragtown, and they're open until 6. So that is, in case you forgot, the new must-see main library downtown, the East Regional, North Regional, South Regional, Southwest Regional, and Stanford L. Warren branch. So be sure to check those out. It's really fun. I'm just really glad that we can go back to the libraries, check out books, CDs, DVDs, and you can still go online and search for items and then pick them up if you don't want to actually go to the library and look for, search for things and look around and that sort of thing. All righty. What else is on the word page? That's it. Let's go to the To Your Health page. I'm just going to mention that I have your COVID-19 vaccine updates, including the fact that there are places on Saturdays and Sundays where you can get free vaccines. Your work schedule might not allow you to go to the county or the Lincoln Community Health Center during the week. So there are places that you can go on Saturdays and also Sundays for that free vaccine. All righty, and that's on the health page. Okay, let's see where Optum Serve is today. They administer free COVID tests. So it's Saturday. They are at the Durham County Department of Public Health from noon until 7. Drive-through service available also. They're at El Centro Hispano until, starting at noon, from noon until 6. Drive-through available there as well. And then on Sundays, that's tomorrow, they will be at the Durham County Department of Public Health, again, from noon until 7 this time. All righty, no blood drives. So let's go to the sports page. And it looks like rain right now, but it's going to clear up, which means if your bike is ready, you can join Durham Parks and Recreation's Full Moon Fever bike ride, which is tonight. There's 2 different starting times. So there's 7:30, the group that meets on the American Tobacco Trail at 7:30. Let's see, and that is at the Mellow Mushroom. Okay, and then there's a group that meets at 8:30, and that's at the Bean Traders on Highway 54. So the voyage is down the American Tobacco Trail, as I mentioned, but you can choose either starting point depending on how far you want to ride. Depending on your stamina and your leg power. So group one will ride for 32 miles, and then group 2 will ride for 16 miles. Obviously, the group that meets downtown will be the group riding to 32 miles. That sounds like a long voyage to me. But anyway, you do have to have a helmet, and also don't forget to have a light put on your bike for the ride. All righty, let's see. Is that it for the sports? Oh, that is not it. Softball starts tomorrow. So tomorrow, let me scroll down. And someone gave me a heart. Thank you and welcome to Bull City Hangout. If you'd like to click on that link to join me, that would be super awesome. You could share information or just hang out. Let's see. Let me scroll down to softball. So opening day for the fall season is tomorrow in Piney Wood Park, as Durham softball starts. And this is a really clever way to raise money for local nonprofits, which is really cool. So now for the summer season, they started at noon. but there's a lot more groups taking part this season. So they're going to start at 10 tomorrow in Pineywood Park. So here's the schedule. Starting at 10, Trees Durham versus Josh's Hope. Girls on the Run of the Triangle versus Vets to Vets United. That's at 11:10. Miracle League of the Triangle versus the South Durham Little League, starting at 12:20. North Carolina Coalition Against Domestic Violence versus Crayons to Calculators. That starts at 1:30. Housing for New Hope versus Central Piedmont Community Action of North Carolina. That starts at 2:40. Don't Waste Durham versus the Animal Protection Society of Durham. That starts at 3:50. And last but not least, Meals on Wheels of Durham versus Porch Durham. That starts at 5. A full day of softball. So if it's free admission, but if you want to make donations to help out, they would greatly appreciate that. All righty, let's go to the Let's Go page, the last page that we will be visiting. The Durham Farmers Market is going on right now until noon in Durham Central Park. The Durham Craft Market is, right across the street, also until noon in Durham Central Park. The South Durham Farmers Market until noon. This one is south on Highway 55 in the Greenwood Commons Shopping Center. Ooh, I should have mentioned this earlier. Okay. Going on right now until 10:30. So you have a couple of minutes if you live in the community over by Central. NCCU, North Carolina Central University, they're hosting a school supplies giveaway for students of all ages going on right now. They start at 9 o'clock, and I did mention this yesterday. But anyway, this ends at 10:30. They are going to be, they are in the Latham parking lot. Enter on Dupree Street. So head over there right now because the kids who want school supplies must be present. You can't run over there and say, I need school supplies for my kids at home. No, the kids have to be with you. Okay. So head out there right now. All righty, let's see. The Durham Art Market is going on right now until 1 downtown across the street from Durham Central Park. Operation Backpack started just a few minutes ago and lasts until 2 o'clock. So head over to Streets at South Point in the space that was occupied by Microsoft, and hopefully you can donate some school supplies to low-income kids, pre-K through high school. So just, whatever you have on hand, or if you're going shopping for your kids anyway, and you want to buy some extras to give away, they would really appreciate that. So this is going to be today until 2 at the Streets at South Point, and then also next week, Friday and Saturday, same hours. All righty, let's scroll up here. Let's see. Horizon is having their year-round marketplace. Just started, ends at 6. And this is where up to 3 pop-up versions of local businesses share their skills and show off their wares and sell their wares. If you want to be considered to participate in this pop-up, you can go ahead and write to them, and the email address is right there on the Let's Go page. All righty. I think this is the first Triangle pop-up market at Boxyard RTP. I think this is the first one. In any case, they start at 11 at Boxyard RTP. That's obviously at RTP, Research Triangle Park. The address is 900 Park Offices Drive. And this is where local artists and makers are going to be selling like clothing, accessories, home goods, etc., etc. Who knows what they'll have? Sounds like a really good time. And as you know, Boxyard RTP is where there's the local restaurants housed inside shipping containers, which I have yet to see. So again, they're going to start at 11 and it ends at 3 o'clock. And they'll probably have some music going on at the same time. I'm pretty sure usually on Saturdays they have music going on. So that should be really fun. Okay, the River Church, they'll be hosting a pop-up COVID-19 vaccination clinic. That'll be this afternoon from 2 until 5. They'll be giving first and second doses and $100 gift cards for those getting their first dose. That's one way to get you in the door, so to speak. So the River Church, 2 to 5 COVID-19 vaccinations. Sacred Grounds Coffee House is open again. So Americana singer-songwriter duo 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗟, that is Walter Miller and Phil Natchett. They'll be giving a free concert starting at 7:30 at the Sacred Grounds Coffee House. That's the Christian music venue in St. Paul United Methodist Church on North Roxborough Road. So it's free, but of course they will graciously accept your donations if you'd like to do that. They would really like that. All righty. And then I have the link to the website so you can see the whole lineup of musicians who will be appearing every Saturday at the Sacred Grounds Coffee House. All right. I just mentioned, of course, the Full Moon Fever bike ride this evening starting at 7:30 and 8:30. Also tonight, the 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗟 Soul Slams Paper Thin Poetry Slam 4. How's that for a name? That starts at 8 o'clock at the Hayti Heritage Center. Yes, this is an in-person event. It's from 8 until 10:30. And this is where basically it's a poetry slam. You read poetry. Now, this one, you can't perform your poetry, by memorization. They want everything to be written down on paper. You can't read from your phone. You know how you see the artists reading with their iPads or phones. No, they want it on paper. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is for today. So they want things, I shouldn't say things, the poetry printed on real single sheets or maybe printed out in a journal or whatever, or maybe handwritten in a journal. So let's see. It says here, feel free to read one of your new works or work in progress. First timers are especially encouraged to play it safe. Attendance will be limited. Face masks will be required, of course. And then you can purchase your ticket. Let's see. Ooh, I don't have the price. Here it is. Here it is. I'm sorry. Pay what you like. So whatever you can afford, just pay what you like. You can go online and get your ticket, pay what you like, and then attend from 8 until 10:30. The 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗟 Soul Slam is led by Dasana Hanu, and it's supported by the North Carolina Arts Council, and that's a division of the NC Department of Natural and Cultural Resources. All right. Oh, there's one thing happening tomorrow. Okay, the Makers Society, they're hosting their monthly Makers pop-up market. This is going to be in Durham Central Park tomorrow from 11 until 3. And this is where local makers and artists and crafters show off what they've made. And then they, sell. Hopefully, you'll be there with some money in your pocket and you can buy something. If you want to be accepted into the group, you have to pay a fee. And then basically, that's pretty much it. Should be nice. It's going to be in Durham Central Park, and the weather is going to be pretty nice tomorrow. Speaking of weather, I can't believe it's only 73, and it's really dark out. It's cloudy. It's hard to believe that it's going all the way up to 88 today, but that's what it says. It's going up to 88, and it's going to start being sunny around 1-ish this afternoon, and then supposedly it's going to be sunny the rest of the day. Doesn't look like it right now, but our weather is very changeable, very volatile. Tomorrow is going all the way up to 91. It's going to be sunny all day, so that should be a really nice Sunday. Let's see what's going to be the rest of the week. The rest of the week, let's see. So partly sunny Monday, sunny Tuesday, in the low 90s. Thunderstorms the rest of the week. And it's going to be in pretty much the low 90s, upper 80s. So that's going to be really interesting. It's going to be a very wet week. So that's pretty much it. If you'd like to join me on camera, that would be super awesome. It looks like Guy, our cook, is waiting in the wings from Washington State. And let's see if it's 100 degrees. Let's see what it is in Washington. Guy, what is new?
Well, you were talking about the bike ride.
Yeah, Full Moon Fever.
Okay, and in the private chat, I posted up the link. It's canceled
Oh,
for this year because of COVID, but they have a
okay.
bike ride 200 miles from Portland to Seattle, Portland, Oregon to Seattle,
200.
Washington. They do it every
Wow.
year. They estimate the crowd, you ready for this? 8,000 people will ride a bike. I
Wow.
mean,
It would take several hours just to get 8,000 people on the road.
it's
So it's not a
they
competition,
it's
right?
no, it's not a race.
Oh,
But
okay. Thank goodness.
they do say in the post about it that it can be completed in 1 day or 2 days. And I'm thinking, if I get done in
200.
1 day, I'd have to be going like 25 miles an hour and get done in 10
200
hours.
miles.
And I'd want to start in Seattle because curvature of the earth, it's going to be downhill to Portland. From Portland to Seattle would be uphill. That'd be bad.
Okay.
Anyway,
Wow.
the
Well,
temperature,
it's probably just really 100 miles, right? Because you have to get back home.
no, it's 200 miles one way. Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
so they should
by
say 400 then, because you have to get home, don't you?
well, hopefully you'd have a cousin waiting in Portland to haul you back home.
I
Uh,
got you. I got you.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
because
trying to
if
get
you do it in one day, it would be pretty darn dark by the time you're finished, and that would
oh
not
yeah.
be fun to ride home in the dark. That's for
Oh
sure.
my God.
The
Well, we're
side of the road and a bike on a bike.
bragging about weather.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you introed me as let's see if it's 100 today. 79.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, that's a doable 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. It's usually
Mm-hmm.
want to park out in the lawn chair and play this word feud. It's kind of like Scrabble on my
Mm-hmm.
phone and let the dogs have a run. And
Mm-hmm.
the only thing that makes that not happen is if it's 100 degrees. So today will be perfect temperature. I I got to check the air quality though. I had to give
Mm-hmm.
my wife cough drops because she was coughing like crazy from
Really?
fire smoke. I think. Yeah. Well, the silly girl, what she's doing, she let the dogs go out to do their business, and she'd go outside and stand on the porch. I said, no.
Yeah.
When the air quality is 80 or more,
Oh.
you don't go outside. If it's
Oh.
over 50 and you're in an at-risk group, which this white hair puts me in an at-risk group,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
then you don't go outside. You just stay
Yeah.
inside.
Well, you have to let the dogs out though. You can't.
Well, yeah, you can open the door,
Well,
let
I
the
guess she
dogs
could
out,
wear a
and close
mask
it.
though. She could wear a mask.
Well, yeah, that's like pulling
I
hair.
mean, she'd be used to wearing masks by now.
Nah, she don't. That the only time that Darlene wears a mask is she goes to a retail store, or no, she goes
Okay.
to see the doctor. She gets
Mm-hmm.
tribal medicine. She goes see the doctor, and they
Mm-hmm.
require it. Any place that requires a
I hope
mask.
so.
Okay, as of Monday, everybody's supposed to wear a mask, even
Yep.
if you've
Same
been
for us.
vaccinated.
Mm-hmm. Same for us.
Okay,
They
so
actually declared it a state of emergency here in Durham County.
well, the you know how everything's got to be political, right? So after the governor of Washington comes out on the press and says this is the way it's going to be Monday coming, you have to wear a mask, right? Last night on the news, the Benton County Sheriff says, "Well, we're not going to enforce that mandate. If somebody goes around not wearing a mask, it's their choice." Blah blah blah. And I'm going, what happened to serve and protect? If if the mantra of the law officers is to serve and protect the public,
Hmm.
and they see me going down the street without a mask, which has been declared as being unsafe, wouldn't it be like, hey, where's your mask question come to
Putting your
mind?
community at risk. But
Yeah,
it's not political. It's a health issue, but it's politicized by
yeah,
people who are against it because it's not
right.
political, in my
Oh,
opinion.
yeah. It's my right to be exposed to the virus and choked to death.
Yeah, it's not political at all to me. I
Yeah,
just don't want to
yeah.
get
It's
sick,
scary
and
stuff.
I want to inadvertently poison anybody else.
Well,
That has nothing to do with politics.
the reason I can wear a mask, right, is that some months ago when we were cleaning out Mom's house before she passed, and
Mm-hmm.
there was some, you know what s'mores are, where you cook the marshmallows on the
Oh yeah,
campfire.
graham
Okay,
crackers and
well
marshmallows, chocolate.
these sticks had never been used. Grandma Cook had got them, put them in a box,
Mm-hmm.
and stuck them in the garage with everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And the handles, instead of it just being a wood handle, they looked like three large marshmallows stacked together is where you held onto it. So I swapped those campfire sticks to this lady, and I
Mm-hmm.
said, "Here, just take them. Just you got grandkids, put them to use."
Mm-hmm.
She came
Cool.
back 15 minutes or so later with a mask that she'd made with the Seattle Seahawks logo and everything
Cool.
on the front. So it's, as a football fan, I said, "Oh, that's a deal." I mean, you know, if you had to buy one, it'd probably be $10, $15 to get one, made up for the
Probably.
team. So
Probably.
I'm just wondering, how come there's not Durham Skyrider masks out there?
Oh, because it would cost money to make.
Well,
And to be
if you,
really honest with you, Guy, I don't know how it is where you live, but here in Durham, free masks are flowing like water. There's no
oh,
reason to even buy a mask anymore. I mean,
okay,
everywhere you go, there's
unless
just
you
like
want one
bucket.
for a design, like we went to the um, where my wife goes to get medicine is right by Pendleton, Oregon, and there's a
Hmm.
tribe there, Umatilla Indians, and they have a store, Pendleton Woolen Mills, and they make blankets and so forth. Well,
Hmm.
now they're making
Oh, wait, did you
masks.
say Pendleton?
Yeah.
That's famous.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's super famous. Yeah.
Have you got one?
My dad had a Pendleton blanket when I was a kid. Multicolors with
Yeah,
the block
yeah,
colors. Yeah, that's
yeah,
famous.
yeah. And they're good stuff. They'll last for 100 years.
I didn't know it had anything to do with Native Americans though.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the tribe is who puts that together.
Oh
Anyway,
shoot, I didn't even know. But go ahead.
she went in there and get a mask because
Hmm.
she wanted one with Indian style coloring on the mask instead
Oh
of it
yeah, I
just
can
being
understand.
like a paper mask. She wanted to
Hmm.
represent. So
That's
she
another
got that
thing.
good.
Let me reach over here.
Okay. Do I get to tell a
Let's.
joke? I got my computer hooked up.
Uh-oh. Did you
Oh.
want to tell a joke? No, no,
No,
wait.
no,
Oh,
they're so bad. You always groan and you go, "Oh my god!" So I
you do
won't do
tell
it.
the worst jokes though, but I
I
like
I
bad
get them from
jokes.
the computer. I don't, you know.
See, everywhere I go, people are giving away masks. Now this one,
Yeah.
oh, there's no logo.
Uh
That's
oh.
weird. Okay, but I got this one for
Oh, it's
free.
blue. I got a blue joke.
Uh-oh.
What's blue and
Okay.
not very heavy?
The
Light blue.
sky, a light blue. Oh, but
Yes. We have to get that soundtrack.
I like
Anyway.
that. I like that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but that's a
people.
cool mask though. That blue like that. I got some from Humana insurance carrier. They sent me two
I do
masks,
too. What did I do with mine? Yeah, I
and it
just
says
got one.
Humana right on it.
Yeah.
Are the ones you
Oh
got light
shoot.
green,
Where's my human? I just had it.
Pat? Is it light
But
green
anyway,
color?
it's green. Yeah, because they had
Yeah.
a giveaway at the senior center.
Ah, okay,
At the
okay.
Durham Center
I
for
got
Senior Life,
mine.
they
Mine
they were
came in the
giving
mail.
they were giving us these bags with goodies, and it
Yeah.
included masks. That's what I'm saying. Everybody is making their own masks and giving them away.
Uh huh.
And oh, this one has the nice metal bar to fit around your nose.
Oh
This is
yeah.
a quality mask right here. I'm surprised it
Yeah.
doesn't have a logo. This is
You'd
well
think
made.
you'd think that somebody would jump on that, like an insurance company or a car manufacturer. Anybody
Mhm.
that's worried about their transparency, like Humana, they
Mhm.
blasted their name right on there. That's
Oh, yeah, yeah.
win-win.
Like I said, everybody's making them and putting their logos except
Yeah,
for whoever made these.
yeah,
So I bought masks at the very beginning,
right.
and they were from craftspersons. like the Biz Chicks, they were selling masks. So I bought
Yeah.
a mask from Terry from the Biz Chicks.
Yeah.
And then I think I bought another one from another artist. And after that, I didn't have to, because even when you walk into the senior center, they
They
have,
have a box sitting there. Yeah.
yeah, when you pick up like the little bag, like you
Right.
have like a little bag like this, and it'll have 5 masks inside, cloth.
Uh-huh.
Not the cheap ones, the good
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I think it's a waste of money to make a Durham Skywriter. I mean, it would be cool to have a DJ Pity Pad or a Durham Skywriter mask, but I don't want to go through that expense. That's just the way it is. So,
Can I talk about one search engine optimization thing I tripped on today?
okay, yeah.
Okay. Google, I'm a Google fanboy. They have a
Hmm.
thing called alerts. ALERTS.
I signed up for those.
Alerts.google.com. Okay.
Hmm.
So I put in Route 6 Tour, Route 6 Tourist Association, all these different things, and I'd get a hit like every other day or maybe 3 days to wait until something came up. I says, I'm
Hmm.
not using the right phrase. What's the big phrase? I went, duh, Google
Hmm.
Analytics. In Google Analytics, you can find out what the most popular search term is, right? So,
Okay.
so if the most popular search term for the Durham Skywriter is,
Hopefully
I don't know,
Durham Skywriter.
well, yeah, that's the name. Route 6 is the popular phrase.
Hmm.
Not Route 6 Tour, not US Route 6,
Route
just
6.
Route 6.
Yeah.
So I put that into Google Alerts and poof, I got this
All
huge.
kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The one I made a link out of is in Pennsylvania. They're going to do a walkthrough and history tour in this big park, Colton State Park. And they're talking about this CCC, the Conservation Corps that they had back eons
Okay.
ago, and how they lived and what they did and so forth. So anyway, I said, okay, I'm going to put that in the blog. Okay, and it's a WordPress powered blog, so I'm posting it in there. And then, as gravy on the potatoes, as it were, I went into Google Maps and I said, "Where's the link for Colton State Park in Pennsylvania?" And I put that into the post.
Hmm.
So I've got the who, what, when, where. That's
Cool.
back to my journalism days. And then I said, "How can I share this?" Well, eons ago, I set up Facebook pages.
Hmm.
And WordPress has got a plugin to share it to social channels, and you pick
Oh,
which flavor you want. And I said,
okay.
I've never tried this. I wonder if this really works. And so I clicked on the Facebook button,
Hmm.
and poof, it says, do you want to share it in your Facebook news stream or do you want to share it to a page?
Oh, yeah, I do that
So,
all the time. Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So I've got it in the WordPress blog.
Hmm.
I got it in to Facebook all in one swoop. Easy as cake.
Nice.
So the thing
I
on
use Google. Go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
no, it's girls
Yeah,
first.
I use Google Alerts because I want to be alerted whenever Durham is mentioned in the news or whatever
Right.
or online. So I think my phrase that I have entered into Google Alerts is Durham NC.
Uh-huh.
And so I get a lot of Google Alerts, but I don't want to miss out on anything. So
Well, that's the long and the short of it. Now I'm going to make
mhm.
you jealous. Yeah, I think I've told you a couple of 3 times that my youngest son is filthy rich, right?
Okay.
He
Not
spoils me.
jealous about that.
He's
But go
well,
ahead.
he spoils me proficiently.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Good.
when what latest thing? Let me grab the camera so I got to point it.
Okay.
The latest thing. See that big glass
Microphone?
door? It's a big kiosk. And
Oh,
there's all my artwork and stuff. Anyway, so the big kiosk, it's
mhm.
delivered and they put it up, and it's got
Okay.
2 little lights up in the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lit up case. I'm going,
Okay.
well, that'd be cool. I wonder why they're not coming on. So I'm fiddling, can't get them, can't get them,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no instruction book. So I called Macy's Furniture and I said, here's the problem. And I told him what's going on. He says, oh, you have to touch the hinge on the top right. I
Just a
said, what?
hand. Okay.
Yeah. So I take
How are
my
you supposed to know
finger,
that?
take my finger and I touch the hinge,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got three settings.
Oh, cool.
Each time you touch it, it gets brighter. And then the
Yeah,
fourth time you
yeah.
touch it, it goes off. And I says, well, so I called Darlene and I said, I can't find the light switch. How do I turn this on? And she sees the wire going in by the door, but she doesn't
Mm-hmm.
touch the hinge. So she says, I don't know. You'll have to call him. I said, already did. So I'm thinking I have to have the door open when I see the hinge. You don't even have to have the door open. You can touch it
Yeah.
when the
I,
door's
I have a
closed.
similar piece of furniture with a lot of treasures belonging
Yeah.
to my aunt, and there's a built-in light, but I mean, this thing's from the 60s or something, so
Oh,
you have to plug it in. But yeah, it has built-in lights as well, which
yeah,
is pretty
yeah.
cool.
It's cool. And
Yeah.
every piece that you've got in, like in this case, every piece I've put in there to hang on to has got a story.
Hmm.
Again, I'm Mr. Talk a lot anyway. So I'm putting the pieces in there and I'm going, yeah, you know what? I need to do a podcast episode. I could do a
Hmm.
whole 2 hour session and tell the story of every piece in here. But I haven't
Pretty
figured out
cool. You
how to
should
do
do
it.
it.
Well, yeah,
Don't
but I
make it
hadn't
two
had
hours though.
well,
But yeah,
no, I've I've
break
rarely
it up.
had an episode of the podcast that's been over 2 minutes. I mean, I'm
Okay.
short, sweet. I'm
Yeah.
I'm kind
Each
of
one.
the opinion that people are busy. Like you get busy, got to do updates and write up
Yeah.
stuff. So you don't have an hour long to sit and listen to a podcast unless you're listening to it
Oh, I
while you're
do while I
working.
work. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I listen to
So I
like
would probably listen.
I listen to the Newsy channel on Pluto and
Oh yeah, I like them.
the
Yeah.
headline news. I'll have that
Hmm.
going in the back.
Okay. In my display, I have handmade Mickey Mouse toys from the 40s, I think, from Japan.
Oh wow.
Queen Elizabeth's coronation souvenirs.
Yeah.
Um, and I think souvenirs from American tobacco because
Yeah,
my
that's where you
aunt's
live.
well, not just that, but my aunt's grandfather was a foreman at the American one of the I think for Lucky Strike.
Yeah.
Um, so she's got some American tobacco trinkets. I forget what else is, like delicate, like teacups, real cute
Uh,
teacups and things. Stuff that probably have stories that I'm unaware of because I'm not aware of what everything is
that's
in there,
that's what I
which is
did when
sad.
mom passed and she saved all those pictures. I've
Hmm.
scanned the pictures and stored them in the cloud so that my fantasy is that there's going to be a descendant of my kids and grandkids and so forth. One of them's going
Hmm.
to be a genealogy fanatic, I'm hoping. And he's going to find all those pictures. He's going to say, who's that? Like I had to do that on
Well,
some of them.
you can do facial recognition searches. By the time they come along, it'll probably be a lot easier to do the
Well,
facial
yeah, but
recognition searches.
well, I don't know. There's pictures in there from the 30s that my mom saved my grandmother's pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandpa Percy, I've got a picture of him leaning against the truck with the mule in the back so they can
Hmm.
go hunting. Him and the
Cool.
blacksmith and Granby were going to go hunting.
Hmm.
Um, it's amazing.
Well, check this out. I have a Brazilian friend back home, Nancy, and she was aware that half of her family was from Italy, but she didn't have any Italian contacts.
Right.
And I think off of one picture, her brother, one of her brothers, made it his goal to find their Italian family. So
Uh-huh.
he went online and he just searched faces for a month after
Oh
month,
wow.
using a couple of old pictures that they had, and he
Yeah.
just searched faces. Do you know he found the family? I don't know how many months it took. He
We did.
actually he found the family, and they just cold wrote them saying, you know, we know you don't know us, you're not looking for money, but we think that we're related. So they actually wrote back, and of course they speak Italian, but what happened was their uh just their ancestor had emigrated to Brazil, and they lost contact. They didn't know what happened, and they verified with names, they had certain names, that they were indeed the same family. And Nancy actually visited them in Italy. And I think that is one of the most remarkable stories I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That her brother dedicated day after day after day after day for months to find matching faces, and they actually reunited the families. Incredible.
Well, Steve had us. You're familiar with Ancestry.com and 23andMe, right?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
23andMe has a thing where you put some saliva into a thing, and then
Hmm.
they do whatever they do. Okay, so we did the saliva thing, mailed it off, and it came
Hmm.
back. I've got cousins, like we shared great great grandparents,
Hmm.
and way just I don't know, fourth removed by marriage or something.
Hmm.
And all of those guys show up.
That's cool.
So Aunt
That's very
Barbara,
cool.
my mom's younger sister,
Hmm.
she's a genealogy fanatic.
Hmm.
She's really into it. She traced us back to the Mayflower. When it
Cool.
landed, the first time the Mayflower
Hmm.
landed, or maybe the only
Hmm.
time, but one of my ancestors was on that ship. And
Wow.
so she says, well, they have a Mayflower parade, the Rose Parade they have in California.
Okay.
There's a float for the Mayflower descendants that's in the parade. So I go onto YouTube, right where you go.
Of course.
I'm watching the parade. No Mayflower. I said, "Are you sure it's in there?" Well, it might have been clipped off by a commercial break. Ah, commercial breaks. Never thought about that. The NBC, they're going to right
Sure.
back after these words. And sure enough, when the Mayflower float went by the filming thing,
Hmm.
they were on a commercial break. So
Oh, man.
I found the video,
Hmm.
clipped it out. Didn't have the whole parade, of course. Just the
Yeah.
part with that float in it, and sent it to Aunt Barbara. Oh, that made her day. She said, "Oh,
Hmm.
you found the float." I said, "Yep."
Cool. Maybe you'll be on it next year.
Oh no, I don't think so.
Oh,
With
that's interesting,
I
because most whites that I knew in Chicago, with it being such a blue collar immigrant city,
Yeah,
most of the white people that I knew or worked with were only second generation. They were just as new as anybody. It's rare to meet a white person whose family's been here since before World War II. It's pretty amazing to hear you say that,
to
because
find
that.
anybody that knows as much as Aunt Barbara shared with us,
Hmm.
she traces back generations,
Hmm.
and um, oh gosh, I want to say William the Conqueror, but he's not the one. It's the big king of England that was like, oh, I have to look it
Magna
up.
Carta 1215. That
Right
guy? I
before
don't
that,
know.
and
What's
and
Richard
the,
Lionheart? The guy that was they found in a parking lot. He was
yeah,
buried
yeah.
uh,
Anyway,
under a
if
parking
if
lot in
if
England.
your ancestry goes back to England, there's a
Hmm.
very very good chance that you're descended from a royalty because they were sowing seeds everywhere. Okay,
Interesting. Interesting.
yeah.
Very interesting.
So
Well, we
on
did
your
we did
on your bucket
find
list, on
the
Pat's
white
bucket,
branch,
yeah.
the white branch of my family. They're from, oh shoot, I forget where in England. Uh, Anyway, they live in Apex, North
Hmm.
Carolina, and we had dinner with them, and they're really nice people. Um, I can't remember where. Oh, anyway, I'll look it up later.
That's called sometimers. You know, sometimes you
No,
remember, sometimes you don't.
well, sometimes when you write stuff down, you don't bother to try to remember it.
That's
You know?
I got the tablet right here next to my desk.
Yeah.
Or I got the mouse pad on the desktop, and then right next to it, I have the tablet.
Hmm.
And that's to write things down, because if I don't write down the case number for that incident, I
Mm.
will not remember what it is. And they're going to say, "Well, what was your case number?" And I'm going, so
Well, that's why I keep I'm pointing at it, but you can't see it. But to the right there is a spiral notebook, and actually, I used to write things down on scrap pieces of paper and then lose them. So
yeah.
I started when I moved here to use spiral notebooks. So you can pretty much follow the whole sequence of my life since moving here to Durham, because everyone I spoke with and all
Are you
the
kept them in an archive in the closet? There's a big box of all the old
yeah,
spiral
I do
notebooks.
have yeah, I never threw them away because there's so many
Yeah.
phone numbers and birthdays and people I talked to, people I've met, song requests,
Yeah.
uh, songs to look for, genealogy notes. If Cookie says, my sister says, "Hey, I found another relative in Georgia," whatever, I write that
Oh
down,
gosh.
you know.
Yeah.
So these, when I go, they're going to be really kind of not interesting to many people, but maybe my niece would be fascinated by
Well,
some of
you
the things.
better write a letter, like a blanket cover letter, said these notebooks are blah blah blah. So they don't just look at them and go, "Why didn't she ever throw these away? These are just notebooks," and not realizing that it's a treasure
Yeah, yeah.
unless you give them a handle. That's what I'm doing now. Is I've got the pictures, but I don't have the scoop.
The
And Aunt
captions. Yeah.
Barbara, like she told me the other day, I always thought that my grandmother was the youngest. No,
Mm,
Aunt Doris was the youngest.
mm-hmm. There you go.
Oh, okay. So who's the oldest then? And so she lined them out chronologically. Marie was first,
Mm.
etc., etc. So I've
You know, since
got that to flip through.
you and I are both in the same age group. I came across, interestingly enough, a little spiral notebook
Yeah.
that my aunt had scribbled some, just like stories, things that happened,
Oh, I could
and
top that. I could top
and I'm
that. Go
thinking
ahead.
I would like to do that for my niece. I found a watch. It was just a watch. I found it, and it had a sheet of paper attached. It was in a Ziploc bag. The story behind it was written down, and I really appreciate it because it was just a plain run of the mill watch.
Right.
Apparently, my grandmother, who was born in 1899, when she was 10 years old,
Uh-huh.
she was walking from the train station with her parents and saw something gleaming under the tracks and reached down, and it was this men's watch. And apparently, she never wore it because back then they really make big differences between, men's and women's stuff.
Yeah.
And apparently, I don't think anybody wore it because I wound it up and it worked perfectly. So that means it's from 1909, since she was born in
Wow.
1899. And
Yeah.
the thing works perfectly. I wear it on occasion.
Uh-huh.
And I probably would have thrown it out thinking, oh, this is just a simple, plain, run of the mill watch that I don't really need. But I kept
Yeah.
it because I know the story,
Oh yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And
But now you need to
it'll
write.
probably, and my little great nephew, one of them, since
Yeah.
my niece had twins, they could probably wear them when they get older because it'll probably be working by the time they get old enough to want the watch.
Yeah. If they can read it. Is it
Oh,
because it's not it's an
I
analog watch, right?
actually, I
It's got
saw
an
a
hour
young
hand and
person.
yeah.
Yeah, it's an analog. I saw a young person who was baffled by cursive writing.
Oh yeah, secret code.
So they might not maybe they're not being taught how to read watches either, analog faces, you know.
Just food for thought. You're not writing that notebook in cursive, are you?
Actually, yeah, maybe I should. Oh no, not
Oh,
cursive. No, I'll probably make it a file. I'll probably make it a file
okay.
to be, because I have a lot of stories, just little stories that I could jot down, and I was very fascinated by what my aunt jotted down. Stories like about the first free woman in our family, Mary Christian, how she founded a church in Georgia. She and
Yeah.
other people that she knew founded a church that I actually got to see, which is pretty exciting. Actually, it wasn't the actual church because this is immediately after slavery, and that particular building doesn't exist, but the newer version.
Right. When they rebuilt it. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Now talking about your aunts that write stories.
Hmm.
Well, my mom's mom, there was four girls. And
Hmm.
no, four girls and one boy. Aubrey was the boy. So Aunt Marie, she being my great aunt,
Hmm.
wrote down the family story to way back to her grandparents.
Okay.
And
Nice.
they were going out in fields picking up potatoes to make a
Hmm.
living. So it was
Hmm.
like, 1920s. They bought their first car for $400,
Cool.
which was a lot of money back in those days.
Oh
But
yeah.
now if it said somebody's going to sell you a car for $400, the first thing I'd say, oh, for parts? I mean, it's not running, right?
Well, I've bought cars for that cheap, but go ahead.
Yeah, not recently.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I've
really?
never paid. Dr. Tachi's here.
Oh,
Hey, Tachi. She's watching from YouTube. If you'd like to join us, you can come to Facebook and click on the link.
yeah.
Hey, Tachi. She celebrated 6 years of Mediascope a couple of weeks ago. Her show on Facebook about
I
pop
just got a
culture and
bad
tech.
celebrating years on the internet. I've got my latest update I got from Reddit. I'm in the 13-year club now. Ooh.
Cool. Ooh,
They have a special group that you have to have been on Reddit for 13 years to join it. I'm going, wow,
nice.
that's got to be cool.
That's
57
awesome.
people. There's only 57
I,
members.
I remember first exploring the internet with my X Atari
800?
800
Yeah,
XL.
that
I wish I
sounds right.
still had it, but yeah, that was my first. I keep forgetting. I keep telling people that I was the first person on my block with a computer, and that I
Uh-huh.
bought one in '89, which was a Macintosh, which is true. But
Yeah,
I forgot about that Atari that I had even years before.
yeah.
Yeah, so I've been on the net for a minute. I
So
mean, compared to people I know.
you've been in bullet board systems before that then.
Oh yeah.
Most of the people that I know, like when we moved to the coast, there used to be a huge newspaper called Puget Sound Computer User, and they had a
Okay.
whole section inside that was all the phone numbers of all the BBSs. So
Oh, I remember. Yes.
I went through that list, and every
Mm.
BBS that had an area code for 360, which is the area code I was in instead of King
Mm.
County, which is different, I wrote them down. And then I started calling them up. Years went by, years and years went by.
Yeah.
And one of the bulletin board systems became an ISP, right?
Okay.
And that ISP bought the ISP that I was the marketing director of.
Wow.
And they kept me working as the marketing guy. Years and years go by. Back in 2003,
Hmm.
the phone company basically put us out of business over a T3 installation, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they went and said, where'd Guy Cook end up? And I said, well, I'm still here in Kitsap. Okay, well, we need you to run this internet stuff for us.
Whoa. Did you?
So yeah, that's like I've been with this is my 21st year with Route 6 Tour because
Nice.
I've been their web guy.
Mm,
You always wanted to know a guy on the internet. See the name?
that's
Oh,
you.
the name right there, right here.
IR Cook.
Yeah, I know a
Your
guy on
internet
the internet.
connection.
Yeah, that was going to be my slogan for a while. And then I
Mhm.
discovered that that's not a good idea. There's too many guys on the internet.
Yeah.
There's like Guy Kawasaki. I used to email
Oh
him and say,
yeah, he was
I'm
early
yeah.
Macintosh guy. Yeah.
I'd email him and say, yeah, I'm just going to start calling myself the other guy because you're like the guy. You've been on
The guy. I
the
think
big
he's a
scale.
serial evangelist of one kind or the other. I think he started with Apple and went on to different
Yeah.
companies or whatever. I think he's kind of obsolete right now. I think. I'm not sure.
Oh no, he's still pretty big.
Oh,
He's
he
got
is.
yeah.
Okay.
He's still
Okay.
running the About site, and that's got tons of stuff in it. But anyway, you got a busy Saturday ahead of you.
Yeah. What's on your schedule for this weekend?
Well, this first item on the
Besides
agenda
an empty
is
teacup, coffee
yeah,
cup,
I got to
you
fill
got to
that
fill it up.
teacup. Yeah, I got to fill that teacup. And if the COVID thing hadn't blown up like it has here, like they're saying Walla Walla, where I used to live, don't get
Mhm.
sick because there's no beds in the hospital. It's full.
Wow.
And
Did you see that guy? That man. I hate to use your name like that.
ah,
I saw him on TikTok, but he went viral on other platforms and also in the news. He was very upset. It was really actually heartbreaking.
yeah,
His wife is in, I think, stage 4, I think, breast cancer.
uh,
And she went to the hospital, I think, for a procedure or something.
yeah,
And I don't know if you've known anyone who's had cancer, whatnot. Sometimes you
I
can't
have.
get treated if your white blood cells aren't in anyway, whatever. She
No,
went in there in the hospital,
yeah,
and he was very upset because there are so many people where he lives who are making fun of COVID and saying it's not serious.
right,
And he's upset because all these people who are unvaccinated and getting sick, even though there are some who are vaccinated, but for the most part, the ones who are really sick are unvaccinated. He's upset because they're taking up all the hospital beds and they had to turn his wife away. And he's very
yeah,
upset because she's near the end. It sounds like, I think when you're
yeah,
stage 4, I think that is the end.
yeah. Stage 4 is like no turning
I
back.
think,
They're probably going to treat you for
yeah.
the pain, and then
So
you're going
they're
to end.
postponing her appointment, and he's very upset because she needs the
Yeah,
help.
yeah. I haven't heard that
And
story, but that's one
yeah,
of the
it's really
many sad stories. I
it's
read
he's
one the
kind
other
of
day.
he's kind of profane, but he's making his point. But he's telling people to get vaccinated
Uh,
because people like his wife are their lives are being affected in the most heartbreaking ways.
yeah, I saw a sign the other day, and it was real. I think I shared it on Facebook even, and it said, "God's protecting me from the virus, so I don't have to get vaccinated." Right? And the comeback
Okay.
was, "Well, if God's protecting you, why do you have a gun?"
Hmm. Or seatbelt
Uh huh.
or
Yeah.
underwear. Just saying. Just saying.
Anyway, I
Just
gotta go get a cup
saying.
of tea. Good luck with your Google alerts. Check in your analytics and see what's pushing the. Maybe it's like Durham healthcare or Durham COVID locations. There could be a
Okay, wait.
buzzword.
Okay, wait. When it comes to setting up your Google alerts, can you use more than one phrase? Because I'm just
Yeah,
using Durham NC.
yeah. I've got like 8 or 9 in mine. I've even got the Guy or Cook report in there. Yeah, you just click on the little plus sign and you can add
Ooh.
another alert.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I will do so. And Tachi's giving us a big, I think she's laughing because I said
yeah.
protective underwear. But yeah, so Tachi, if you know about this, you might want to do this too. Set up Google alerts
Yeah,
I'm sure she already knows, but I'm just saying for those who don't know,
correct.
Google Alerts allow you, well, they alert you when your catchphrase that you have entered
Right.
um, is
For a journalist,
becomes a thing.
it's almost a got to have it, and you can have multiple things. So if you're doing, like, say you're the sports editor for the Durham Times, you could just do Durham Sports or whatever.
I should do that because I just have Durham NC.
Right.
So
And that might be Durham no charge. You never know.
yeah, I wouldn't do just Durham sports because there are a lot of different, there's Durham, Connecticut, and there's all these different Durhams.
No,
But Durham
Durham
NC
NC
sports and
Sports.
Durham
Sure.
NC health will probably be another good
Go in
one.
and look at your landing pages on your analytics and find out what words were used for
Okay,
that.
I'll do that. I will
Okay.
definitely do it. Thank you,
Write it
Guy, as
down. Put it in the
always.
spiral notebook.
I will
Adios.
do so. Thank you. You have a great weekend.
Okay.
All righty. Take care. Okay, so Tachi, you can't join me, I guess, because you're on the YouTube side. But what I will do is to give the weather again, just in case you want to join me by going to the Facebook side and clicking. So no pressure. I'm just going to do this. I don't know what your schedule is. So it was 73 a minute ago. Let's see what it is now. It's up to 75. It's still cloudy. It's still going up to 88. And let's see, it's supposed to be sunny. Let's see. Oh, now it's been pushed back to 2. So the sun's going to come out at 2. And then supposedly it'll be sunny the rest of the day. Again, going up to 88. Tomorrow it's going up to 91. Sunny all day. That's awesome. And the rest of the week, it'll be in the lower 90s, upper 80s, with rain hitting us on Wednesday through Monday. Chance of thunderstorm. Wow. Tachi says she is not dressed yet. I totally understand. It's Saturday, right? No pressure. Do what you want. Relax. I don't know if school has started for you. For those who don't know Tachi, she is a journalist and filmmaker, but she's also a college professor. So I don't know. Now I know the kids have all come in for Duke and North Carolina Central University, and I assume UNC Chapel Hill, which is next door in Chapel Hill. The news is all aflutter because apparently there's been a Jerry Seinfeld sighting here in Durham. Apparently he drove down with his kiddies to drop them off. They're attending Duke. So they're all aflutter. Jerry Seinfeld. So I saw him and I didn't really recognize him because he's older now and I simply didn't recognize him. I would be a terrible, absolutely terrible journalist if it was up to me covering pop culture, because I wouldn't be able to recognize anybody if they look any different than how they looked in the 80s and 90s when I cared. So I'm not saying I ever really cared. I'm not a big celebrity person. I remember when I was in Chicago, they would always be filming downtown. And I remember my coworkers would be all excited because a certain actor or actress would be downstairs filming. And I never went out there to get autographs. I figured they're working. To me, actors and actresses are workers. They're entertainment workers. I don't really get that excited about them. I appreciate their work, but I don't really get excited about them. But anyway, I want to respect your time. It is Saturday after all. It is just about 11 o'clock, so I've been on for an hour. So let me go. You have a beautiful weekend. Don't forget that Makers is tomorrow. Oh, I have a handwritten note here. Okay, one last note that I did not mention when I was listing what's happening tomorrow here in Durham. This is word of mouth information. There's going to be a school supply giveaway at the terminal, the bus terminal downtown on Pettigrew. When I was DJing yesterday, a gentleman walked up to me and said that he's going to be giving away 100 book bags tomorrow at the bus terminal around 3-ish. So I'm going to try to verify that and add it to the Durham Sky Writer, but I'm just letting you know, word of mouth. that if you head over to the bus terminal tomorrow around 3, there's going to be a giveaway of school supplies. And Tachi's saying, thank you. No, thank you. And one day when you're fully dressed and able to join me, you want to shoot the breeze, Bull City Hangout, I appreciate that. So Durhamites, see if you can share this out so that more people can know what's happening today in Durham. I invite you to have a wonderful weekend. And as Tachi says, I'm going to head stage. I can't do it like Tachi. Stage right or left, however she does it. Have a beautiful weekend. Ciao for now.